when you guys, if y'all, Jason's done it before too, and he's just awesome at this. He sends me a list of everybody coming, what their connection to the Dream Center could be, what their potential for giving is, what their potential with the walk. I mean, I get a biography on everybody. So that's always really, really helpful. Who is iPhone? It just says iPhone.
Hi. You know what? It's Lee Massey with Holiday and Holiday.
Lee?
Yes.
How are you?
I am good. I'm driving, so I'm sorry if there's I'll try to mute myself when I'm not talking so I don't.
No, you're fine. You're fine. If we need to mute you, I'll do that. I don't have a problem doing that. Okay. Hey, Erica, I see you too. You guys, we want to see your faces.
My hair looks so bad.
Okay. It is monsoon season. There are no good hair days right now. Yeah. Jack May has timeless, weatherproof hair at all times. I want everybody to meet so y'all know each other and you know each other's faces and all that. So, but Lee, be careful while you're driving.
I will.
So
I parked for a moment so I could turn my video on.
Okay. Connie, finish eating. Let me see who else we're waiting on. Audra. Hey, Alicia, can you send a quick text to Audra and just ask her?
You know what? She just emailed and said she's unable to be on the call.
Okay, good. That's good to know. I just don't want to get started. What about Kim Bayer?
Let me check real quick here.
Erica, Sue, and Brittany. I thought Brittany was going to be on.
Kim can't make it on tonight.
Okay, good to know. And I think Cassandra. Of course, Jeff RSVP'd no. What am I going to do with you, man? Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, hi, everybody. I'm Joanna Scheit. And like I said, you know, Jeff is the heart, Alicia is the brains, and I'm the mouth. So I guess everybody has a gift and I just embrace it. But I'm excited you guys are on. What Alicia and I have talked about is pretty much after tonight, we're going to have all of our committees completely formed. We do have a few people who will be on the committee, but they just can't be on tonight. Cindy Metz is one. She was on it last year. She's brilliant. Love her. But I want to start by just spending a couple of minutes introducing Brandy. And Brandy, you unmute, honey. Brandy is a resident and officially graduated this past Saturday. Yay, that's a huge deal. And she is our Stop Traffic Walk Hope Hero. Hi, Amy. She is our Hope Hero this year. So if you go to our website, which we're going to show you that in just a few minutes, you will be able to hear her story. I'm telling you right now, you better get an entire box of these before you turn it on. It is just amazing, her strength and just the power and how God has led her through this journey. And you know, not without a few setbacks and jumping back into play. And so she's done it all. And Shauna has mentored her so beautifully. And I'm going to introduce Shauna in a second. But Brandy, I just want you to say a quick hello and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Yes, I was chosen to be the Hero of the Year this year, and it's been such a blessing. It's given me so much strength. I'm a mom of 6. My older children are 20 and my 18-year-old just went to college, and I got 2 teens, but I have 2, a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old that live with me here at the Phoenix Dream Center. And so it's been amazing having people come alongside me and just help me through this process and to help me heal. So I really love being the hero this year. It's really helped definitely give me strength, courage. So I really appreciate you guys.
And you guys, when we do events and things in the community, Brandy will come right along and she'll tell a little bit of her story and she'll share with people what this means and how important the walk is. And we're just, you can see she's beautiful, she's eloquent, and she's the real deal. So we're so proud of you, Brandy. Do y'all have any questions for Brandy before we let her go back to her children? Any questions? Okay, well, when you go to the Dream Center, you definitely want to, if she's there, you definitely want to ask to meet her real quick and give her a quick hug. She's absolutely fabulous. So thanks for being on, Brandy. I will see you next week.
God bless you.
You
Bye.
too, honey. Bye. So next I want to introduce Shauna Sexton. Shauna, as y'all know, most of y'all know who Shauna is. She is our Hope Wing director. She went through the program, graduated quickly, and left for a while, went to work for a while at Streetlight USA, which is our sister partner where they rescue our kids that are under the age of 18, worked there, just did an amazing job. And then we stole her back to the Dream Center, and she's doing just a brilliant, brilliant job. We're so excited about Shauna. So Shauna, you want to say hey real quick?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm so glad to see you all partnering with us on the Stop Traffic Walk this year. And, you know, it really takes all of us together to make these big things happen. And I just appreciate all of you jumping in and forming these committees. And
You muted.
Jeff and Joanna, sorry, I had a call coming in. It's just, I just don't have enough time in my day to be able to, you know, 10 to 40, 50 residents, and then, you know, on top of all the other things. So I really, really appreciate you guys jumping in and helping with everything.
So when you go to the Dream Center, you definitely want to make sure Shauna's there so you get to see her as well and introduce yourself. And I know several of y'all have met Shauna, and it's such a pleasure to be in her space. She is truly a victor. She is not a victim. She is a victor. And you can see Jeff nodding his head. We all love Shauna. She does the work of 20 people. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And she's
I
so
couldn't do any of it
dedicated.
without my amazing team though, and without your guys' mentorship. So I really appreciate how you guys have built me up too.
Well, you're the real deal. I love her. And this is someone who, if she went to work for a corporation, she would be making six figures. And yet she works at the Dream Center and is pretty much on call 24/7. And so we appreciate her so much. So Alicia, will you introduce yourself? You're new to the team this year.
Hi, everyone. My name's Alicia. I'm excited to be a part of this team. I worked with Dream City Church before, so I see a lot of familiar faces and recognize some names, but I'm excited and looking forward to working in this side of the house, the foundation. Excited to work with Jeff. Jeff is great. Already enjoy working with him so much. So just looking forward to supporting what's happening here and excited to see what takes place.
I love it. Well, we're excited to have you on board. So she's actually working as our support for the Stop Traffic Walk. And I've already been blown away at her organizational skills. And I actually told Jeff in a conversation last week, I said, Jeff, she should be chairperson and I should work for her. She is so good. And you could tell he hesitated a minute. I think he was thinking about that. So I may be replaced very quickly, but we're excited to have you, Alicia. And Allison Wallworks speaks so highly of you. You've hung the moon with her, and she's a dear friend of mine as well. So, and of course, I think y'all all know Jeff, but Jeff, say howdy do.
Howdy do. Anything else?
Yeah, tell them what you do. Besides sing amazingly well.
Yeah, so I'm the executive director of the Dream City Foundation, and we are the founding organization of the Stop Traffic Walk. And so our vision with the Stop Traffic Walk started in Phoenix. We wanted to bring awareness and raise funds for the Where Hope Lives program, which is the Phoenix Dream Center for the adults, Streetlight USA for the children, and Short Creek for the those who have been trafficked in the familial by their family. Mm-hmm. So we started that 3 years ago. This is our fourth walk coming up, and very quickly we saw that there was something here that needed to be shared. So we quickly got a vision to spread this around the country, around the world. So we're in the process right now of expanding this to other markets. We currently, for the upcoming year, have, in fact, just in a few weeks, we have our San Diego walk, their second annual. We have a Las Vegas walk. We have a Dallas, an Atlanta. We're working on several. We're close to several of these, Dallas, Atlanta. I can't think of all of them. But the other exciting thing that's happening is the Super Bowl is coming to Phoenix next year in February 12th of 2023. So we're launching, the foundation, a public awareness campaign that is raising awareness for trafficking, just to let people know how they can spot it, how they can prevent it. And so we're working with several organizations. One is It's a Penalty. They work at every single Super Bowl. But one thing that we're doing that's unique to us is we're providing school assemblies. So if any of you know, have any contacts within the school systems, we would love to talk to you about how you could open some doors for us, because we have a great assembly. We have an elementary assembly and we have a junior high school assembly. So 2 different assemblies that we work with, and those just highlight different parts. We can't talk to a 6-year-old about human trafficking, but we can talk to them about online safety. So there's a lot that we do just trying to raise awareness. We found that when it comes to the program at the Dream Center and Streetlight, if awareness equals raising funds, because when people know about it, they want to give to it. It's just the best organization you can give to. And so, yeah, so that's what I do. And it's a great job. Get to work with great people like y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I love Jeff, and y'all know I love Jeff, and I love his wife, and I'm glad that she has allowed him to survive this long. Okay, so we are going to go around, and why don't we start? I'm just going to go across my screen. Jason and Amy. Amy, I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you.
You too.
So, will y'all introduce yourself? As a matter of fact, just introduce Jason. You introduce yourself, and then let Amy talk.
Jason Grandin. Jason, that's basically it. Go ahead.
No, Jason, tell everybody what you do and what you bring to the table. We want to know your cred.
I'm involved in real estate, but prior to real estate, we were heavily active. We probably produced 85-90% of the concerts in town that were under 2,000 seats. So we've got a big entertainment background. But now, we do real estate, but we also do a lot of community awareness and city promotion type stuff. And this falls into that. Also, our son is president of Turning Point for Cactus Shadows, which we've been talking to the schools about bringing these presentations in. And the first thing out of their mouth is, we don't want the kids hearing about human trafficking. So that just shows the ignorance that's right there. So once we have a platform down, I think it's going to be pretty easy, especially since this is an election year and school boards are top topic. I think we're going to be able to get into a lot of the schools.
We just need people to get the word out there and get permission. Okay, Amy.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm like waiting for a question. I'm Jason's wife, and I'm just his sidekick. I just, go along with his ideas on this, and we were involved in the walk last year, and so we hope to have our own team this year and build that up. So
love it.
Yeah, Erica was on the walk. She's the one that kind of introduced us to it, I think.
yeah.
And so, but yeah, this year there's a lot of people that want to know what was going on. And so it's going to be pretty easy to put teams together.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see, actually, I think it's to a point, it's probably almost outgrown. Wouldn't you say, Jeff? That was packed last year.
We're looking at venues. So yeah, we'll see.
I like that optimism.
Yeah.
It'd be good. Hey, actually, Westworld would be a great venue. Plus, there's a ton of room to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is something we're going to talk about this after introductions, is basically how do we start teams and establishing QR codes for corporations immediately, as soon as we know, and churches and everything, as soon as we know they want to form a team. And we'll explain to you what that means. Okay, Sue Tully, who you be?
Hi, I am retired and I have a full-time nonprofit job. I was on the phone for 3 hours or texting this afternoon, nothing more than Dream Center and Stop Traffic. So it's very fun because people are very interested. I have given out so many of our little Stop Traffic things. I have them in a Ziploc bag. I carry them to Dream City Church, hand them out. I'm surprised at the number of people at Dream City that have not done the walk. I've gotten commitments, but they're not ready to sign up yet. It's just too early, so to speak. But I've gone outside of there, and my main focus has always been on the pro-life, and I'm involved across the board in the metropolitan area and probably show low as well. And I've used that as a stepping stone for Dream Center because they go hand in hand. And everybody that I talk to in these different pro-life meetings, I've given them one of the Stop Traffic And as I said, tomorrow night, for more for the elections and such. And as a matter of fact, I met a national type person with election integrity that's focusing on Arizona that is very interested in Dream Center. Couldn't come to the tour this week, but so my focus is actually, I call myself a floater because I just talk. I talk to everybody I see, whether it's a business. I talk to a UPS store that we belong to, and not yet because they don't have enough employees, but every chance I get, I just either give a thing out or talk to somebody. And I do use, if it's okay, I use those 4 pages of all the information. I haven't memorized it all, but I've got a lot of the facts down. And if somebody wants some more information, I take one of the sheets and hand it. I know it's not approved marketing material, but
Okay,
best friends kind of thing.
that's good. That's a good point too. That's great. Okay, Erica, can you introduce yourself? You're muted, sweetie.
Where is she?
Let me see. Has to unmute.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Erica Trudell. I am a personal trainer and post-rehab specialist. I am excited to join. I have assisted in rescue centers back in Michigan and domestic violence. So I would like to continue out here. And I also am currently looking for a venue. I really am, Joanna, for the fundraiser that I would like to put on. So it's a little harder to find a venue than I had anticipated, but I thought I'd want to do it.
So Erica, I would highly recommend that you get Jason's information because he and Amy know like so many venues in the city and all. And he might have some inside scoops on some of those gyms and stuff where you can do that fitness fundraiser.
That would be great.
Yeah. And as soon as we get that on the books, and we want to make sure myself, Shauna, and possibly Brandy are there to kick it off and talk at that. But I appreciate your work on that. I know that's been frustrating for you, but that's okay. You know, it's going through the fire, girlfriend.
Yes, yes. And I'm excited for the walk. I was already thinking of, some of my higher end clients that they would chip in a considerable corporate sponsorship. So
okay, good.
Looking,
we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. It's awesome. Thank you, Erica. Honey, introduce yourself in your brand new house. You have to unmute or we can't hear you. That lip reading course is not working for me.
Sorry. Okay. I said hello, and I said you can see the remodel of our new home with this plastic tarp right here. But so I'm Connie Sizik, and we have been at Dream City for a little over a year, and I'm here tonight because Joanna Shipe had asked me to come, and that's why I'm here.
Because I twisted her arm and she said, ouch. And I said, you have to come. And she said, okay. So Connie is a lot like Sue. She's just sweet and friendly and everybody likes her and she starts talking and everybody listens. I love it. So I love that sphere of influence. We're going to put you to work, girl. Okay, Lee, introduce yourself.
My name is Lee Massey and I work with Whole Holiday and Holiday. And they also have the Holiday Charitable Foundation. And we actually participated in the walk last year. It was our first walk as a team, and we were just amazed and blown away by it. I have Christian owners at my office that have been a real blessing, and Denise and Kevin Holiday kind of spearheaded that last year, and I get to come alongside and have fun with them doing that too. But both the Holidays and myself, our churches as well, participate in Phoenix Dream Center in different ways, and with Desert Community Church, and then the Holidays are with CCB. So it's kind of touching our lives and on both sides.
That's great. Okay, well, we're excited to have you on. So we're going to put you to work too, girl. And I want to talk to you too about maybe the Holidays, if they want to be a sponsor or if they want to form a team or both. So that's great. Okay, Jim, can you unmute or pop onto Sue's display so everybody
He went in the other room. He should be able to.
Okay. He has to unmute.
Unmute. Jim.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Jim Bertner. I'm Sue Tully's husband. This is our first year with the walk and helping out. We've been talking to a lot of people, as Sue said. It's amazing to me the number of people I mention it to, or it comes up in some conversation that I really wouldn't think they would be that interested, and they jump right on it. So I think the interest is there. It's simply a matter, it's kind of like political campaigns. You just got to knock on enough doors.
Yeah.
But in order to really, I'll say, drive the end goal of supporting Dream Center and Gaslight and the foundation, the corporate sponsor thing, I think, is really going to we need to really do some work there. And I've reached out to a couple of small businesses that I know pretty well, and while they haven't jumped up and said, here's my check, they didn't say no. So we just got to follow up with some people, but would be interested in pursuing that side of it.
Okay. Yeah. And we talked about that earlier. I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to link you guys up, and we're going to talk about corporations in just a couple of minutes and what ideas you guys have. But I really think that Jim, you and Jason and Jeff, y'all could really, kind of formulate a good plan on that, because Jeff's so good at that. And Jeff, one thing people may not know about you is, can you just tell them a little bit about your background and some of the walks for different 501c3s that you've done before, because you've got quite a reputation. Let's unmute you. There you go.
I don't know about that, but I did produce a walk for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I did that for 3 years. The first year, it was raising money for cancer research. The first year here in Phoenix, we raised $400,000. And then by the third year, we raised $1.5 million through our walks. We did a walk here and a walk in Tucson. And the walk in Phoenix did 1.2, and the walk in Tucson did 300,000. So I saw through that the power of, one, fundraising, but also what it does for awareness of the cause, because it's a low-hanging fruit for people. They can get their kids, their friends, their family, their grandkids, come out, have a good time for a cause. And it's a memorable thing that keeps them connected, and it opens the door for them to stay connected to your cause all year. So, so I saw that. So when I came over to the Dream City Foundation, it was just a natural to start the Stop Traffic Walk, and something similar for human trafficking, because it doesn't exist.
Perfect. So we have a winner leading us. And so just for those of you who have never been to the walk, it is a family event. Doors open around 5. People show up before then. We have it at the Peoria Sports Complex. We have tons of stuff for the kids to do and the adults to do. We have food trucks. The registration can be either free or $99. The 99 represents the 1 out of 99 that is rescued from the streets. And for that 99, they get a meal ticket, a light up bracelet, and they get one of the t-shirts. But they do not have to pay to come to the walk or to walk. But what we really want is, we want people to form teams. We love individuals, that's great. But the main thing is, we want people to form teams, because it's like there was an old Suave commercial. I'm dating myself here. And in the screen, it was this woman who said, I told 2 people about Suave, and it multiplies. And she goes, and I told 2 people, and I told 2 people, and I told 2 people. And I always think about that, just the power of the word being spread if you tell people. So first thing we want to do is, we want to encourage everyone here, make sure you form your own team. And I'm going to do a screen share real quick, and I'm going to, and I probably just went off of our itinerary, but I'm going to show you how you do that. So all you do is you go to stop, look, it comes up automatically now on my screen, Stop Traffic Walk 2023. I just tell people when it comes up, now watch, my internet's going to be slow for the first time today. When it comes up, just click on that upper left or upper right-hand corner. And then what you're going to do is it tells you all about it. It tells you what we're doing. It talks about the different walks, where, what the date is, where the location, how you get more information, how you invite friends, all of this. So it just gives you a lot of information. So when your friends say, well, what is it? Say, go to Stop Traffic Walk 2023 and click on the big Stop Traffic Walk in the upper right-hand corner. And then if you go back, so I'm going to go back to here, they can donate, they can join a team, or they can start a team. So like I already have a team formed. So let's say I talk to Sue at church and I go, Sue, can you join my team? She can click on join a team, and then she can look up my team and join my team, Shipe team. I kept it really simple, okay? She can join my team, and then she can donate to it. She can sign up to be a member, all that good stuff. So this site is very, very user-friendly. It's a lot of fun. It's not hard to use. And like we said earlier, let me stop share. If you have a corporation, a church, or a large group that wants their own QR code, that's that little code right there, then Alicia will come up with a QR code for them. We'll send them the link, and then they can bypass everything and go straight to the team. Okay. If they want more information, that's great, but they can bypass it and go straight to the team. So one thing that I've found in over 30 years of being in a high-level sales position is that people want easy access. They want to be able to look at something, click it, and go, okay, I'm done, next. And the great thing about this is that when you have a team, if let's say I go to Sue Tully and Jim Burtner's team and I join their team, she gets an immediate message that someone's just joined her team. On the other hand, if I say, Sue, I'm going to join your team, and she says, that's great, and I say, I'm going to do it this afternoon, and she doesn't get that message by this evening, she can send me a message and say, hey, are you having problems getting on the site? Because I haven't seen it pop up yet. So there's a little bit of accountability there. You're not pressuring people, we're not pushing them, but we are doing just a little bit of encouragement to do what you say you're going to do. So it's a very user-friendly site, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes too. So I want to turn it over to Alicia and Jeff, and they are going to talk a little bit more about the website. Jeff, do you want me to screen share the site again while you talk about it?
So for me, if you want to screen share the corporate side of things, the document that I sent.
Oh, that, okay, yeah.
That. But if you want to do the website, we can do that. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So one thing that when you're talking to businesses about supporting the walk, one thing that is important to know, these are hard, these numbers are very well studied, that customers are 70% more likely to return to you if you support a cause that aligns with bettering the community that you're in. And so when we go to these businesses, I think it's important to show them what's in it for them. But so what we've done is put together this little guide for corporate teams, because we can do things by ourselves, but it's a lot more fun when you do it with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers. And we found that teams tend to raise a lot more money as well for walks, not just this walk, but any walk, whether it's, breast cancer or Alzheimer's. The teams do more because there's that competitive nature, the competitive spirit. So we put together this little guide, and it's a guide for corporate teams to be looking at. And so there are just a few things I'm going to kind of walk you guys through. The first thing to consider is the matching gift programs. Many corporations have a corporate match program that will donate. I actually have worked with an individual who worked for, I think it was CBRE, and they do a corporate match up to $75,000. And so this gentleman gave $75,000 of his own dollars to this cause, and his business matched it. So there are companies also that do double. Johnson & Johnson does a triple match So, or I actually double, so it triples your gift. So if you give $100, Johnson & Johnson gives $200, and I think that's up to a $2,500 gift for their employees. So it's important with businesses to make sure that they're fully utilizing this, because this is something a lot of people don't know about, but most big businesses do this. So if you work for a large corporation, a lot of smaller local ones will do it as well. You just have to ask if that's part of their program. So some other fundraisers, I mean, you can do, these are just ideas. This isn't a comprehensive list, but it's just a way to kind of, these are things that other people have done that have been successful. Do a garage sale, ask the team members to donate their things and do a garage sale. We had, she was unable to make the call tonight, but Brittany Fial she's our leading team last year. She was the top team, and she did a garage sale, and I think she raised like $1,000 in one day. So she did that with her team members. The other thing is just to ask us, for myself or Alicia, Joanna could come by as well, to sit down with these businesses. We'll be happy to do a planning session. If I could have a half hour with a business, I can find out what their values are, a little bit about their culture, and really give them a tailored plan that will fit their culture well and help them maximize it. But not just raise a lot of money, but form a program in the way that makes it really fun for them, to where it is team building and to where it's going to benefit their business. So this next section talks about fundraising at the office. The most popular one, and you think it's not a big deal, but is this dress down day. People pay $10 to dress down on Friday or one day out of the week. Now, a lot of offices aren't meeting in person anymore, so it's not quite the thing it maybe was a few years ago, but there are still a lot of, especially some of the banking, the legal industry, some different industries, but you can find a different form of that, where on one day a week they can do something that's kind of a little more informal, but you pay $10. And I know a lot of businesses who have raised thousands of dollars because they've done this through the year, and they can accumulate a lot of money. Company bake sales, things like that. Another thing is just a spare change bucket around the office. All of these things are like almost insultingly simple, but they really add up, because when you start adding all these employees, the money really adds up. The other thing that these things do is it just keeps it on people's radar. When they're paying that $10 to dress down, they're thinking, I need to get some people to donate to my page. It's keeping it at the forefront of their mind. You can do a food sale. I saw this worked with one organization. They actually got a local restaurant to donate pizzas to their business, and they sold them to their employees. So they knew, I think it was like the first Friday of the month, they could buy pizzas, and then all that money was given towards the cause. Another thing that's kind of an easy thing is a shredding event. A lot of times you can get, you can bring people can bring their documents into shred and just do it for a donation. Something easy, it doesn't cost a lot of money. A really popular thing, if you have time, and we still have time on our side, is to do a silent auction or a raffle within the office. And that involves, going to places like, Harkins Movie, to AMC, getting movie passes, going to restaurants. I'm telling you, with years of doing this, every restaurant, if you ask a restaurant for some kind of donation for a cause, and we'll give you a 501c3 letter if they need it. If you ask them for a cause, they will give you something just to get you off their back. Yeah. I've been told that directly by multiple people who have been on different teams that I've had in the past, that they do this for corporations. So you think, well, what's a $25 gift card, to Eddie V is going to do? It's going to buy you an appetizer, but you put a bunch of those things together, and you can have a date night for a month, or if you get a bunch of those. So I would just suggest, for these businesses, be creative with getting some items for a silent auction, and then have an auction, a silent auction or a raffle for the office. This is a way you can really raise a lot of money. But the other thing this does is it just creates fun for the office. I mean, if you're in an office 5 days a week, 6 days a week, that can become mundane. So these are little things that help. And most offices have a cause that they're going to support anyway. So the great thing about our cause that's different from almost every cause is we're one of the few remaining causes that is completely apolitical. We're not a Democrat issue. We're not a Republican issue. This is a human issue that is not politicized. So a lot of businesses like that because they want something that appeals to all people. So if you're making pitches, that's another kind of point of benefit to supporting something like this. The biggest key to success though for a team is to do a kickoff. And so what a kickoff is where we go in and we create just a party atmosphere. I will work with whoever the lead person is at that corporation, but we'll do just an internal kickoff. And that can be anywhere from 10 minutes to, we can do it for an hour or two, where we go in and we just give a little pep talk about what is happening. If there's enough of a participation, we can bring in, one of our honored heroes to give a story of survival. We tell about the cause, what they're supporting. We give some ideas, and we usually will kick it off with some kind of contest. The last group I did something with, we had a contest within the first week, and they had something, the first person to raise, I think it was $100, got to go to lunch with the boss. They also had, for the duration of the campaign, the person who raised the most money got a whole day off with no PTO counted. So these are things businesses can do that don't cost them money, but again, it builds morale, it encourages participation, and these corporate teams are the ones that hands down raise the most money. Friends and family teams are second, then it comes down to individuals and corporate sponsorships. But the corporate teams are the number one ways that we can raise, is the number one way that we raise money. So then if we just keep going down, there's some things you can do within the community, some ideas. Again, these are idea starters. These aren't the only ideas, but doing things like softball tournaments, bowling tournaments, Frisbee golf, things like that. Having a steep sign-up fee, maybe $100, but then 100% of that goes to the cause. And people know that they're not paying $100 to play a game of bowling, but they know that they're supporting a good cause. Even doing, I've seen some people do, car washes sometimes can be good things, but a bigger thing that has raised money is to do a dog wash. I don't know if you want to go there or not, but that's another thing that these teams can do. And then, again, everybody knows about the restaurant Dine to Donate night, where 20% of sales go to the organization. One thing I would encourage you to do if you do something like that for your team is to make sure that to see if you can get the restaurant owners to just say that all proceeds from that night instead of just people with the flyer. What we've done in the past is if we have an event and they have to turn a flyer in, we'll usually plant somebody outside with the permission of the restaurant. No, that's what we do. And say, hey, would you, it doesn't cost you anymore. If you could give this to your server, you'll be donating to a great cause tonight. So most restaurants don't mind that. If you go to some of the higher end restaurants, they're not going to want that. But, especially if you do like a kids night, we've got a thing coming up at Sky Zone. They're doing a week from Wednesday. There's a big Sky Zone thing that Brittany is hosting, and they're doing something. It's like 40% of everything from the people who present the flyers. So she's going to stand outside, pass out the flyers to everyone who's coming in, whether they knew they were coming for that or not. So, the restaurant things are pretty easy, but I don't push those too much because those are just ways to keep it on people's radar. But if these businesses, if these corporate teams will do these things, it is amazing how quickly the corporate dollars will add up. The other thing, just to have from a matching standpoint is a lot of times when these businesses, we have corporate sponsorships that are available as well. So usually the businesses that start off with the team that opens the door for us to go back to them and say, hey, last year you raised $10,000 as a team. What do you think about being a sponsor for this year? And so then that opens the door for sponsorship. And, you know, again, corporate sponsorship is a big thing for us. We have not, I'll tell you, as an organization, we have not mastered the art of that. When I was with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, we did very well with that, but I also came into the walk on year 12. So year 12, they were at $400,000. So that's a long game for some of these businesses, just going back and building relationships. So I believe someday we'll see we'll turn a corner with that. And so, you know, maybe Jim and Jason, we can kind of come up with a strategy on that, on how to get us a jump start with that. But that's something we have not done great at as an organization. It's not for lack of trying, it's for lack of just finding that right pitch, that right, we just haven't found the greatest pitch to take to these businesses for corporate sponsorship. So, but those other ideas are ideas for some corporate teams. But the biggest thing, if you're gonna take anything out of that, is to let us sit down with the teams. Just say, hey, they'll come in and they'll make a plan with you. I will sit down with them. I'll get a plan that will make them succeed at what they want to do with raising money and being engaged with the cause with their employees.
Any questions on that at all?
Hey, checks, or what are they written to, Joanne? I know you told me before. So when someone writes out a check, do they write it to Stop Traffic Walk, or
Aren't you doing a Dream City Foundation?
Dream City Foundation? Okay.
Good question. Okay, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to turn it over to Alicia, and we're going to just show you what our Facebook page looks like. And so this is what it looks like. And you just go under search Facebook and you do Stop Traffic Walk. And this is really effective. As you are talking to people, ask them if they're on Facebook and ask them if they wouldn't mind liking this page, because as things are happening, like as we have things happening even in San Diego and stuff, they'll be in the feed for all of this. They'll hear Gina's story from last year. They'll hear Brandy's story. Here's the Kendra Scott fundraiser that was done August 20th and 21st. So you'll see a lot of things happen in this feed. Also, and Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong, if they're on this page, they also get the Instagram stuff if they have an Instagram account, correct?
If it's linked to it, they should see it pop up, but I think you still need to follow it on Instagram, and I can show what that looks like just for reference.
Okay.
But you can, if your accounts are linked, if you make a post or share, if you do it in one, you can share it to the other, so you don't have to share separately. So the sharing becomes cohesive, but I think to initially follow or like, you have to individually go into.
Okay, so what that means for those of us who have experience with dinosaurs like myself, if I put something on my Facebook page, it will go automatically to my Instagram. So some people are Instagrammers, some people are Facebook people. And so it's just getting the word out there. Like Jeff said, it's just talking, getting it in people's faces, posting things all the time. Oh my gosh, have you joined my team yet? On my personal Facebook page, I'll start this right after Labor Day. I'll start doing shout outs to people who are joining my team and people who are forming teams. And, you know, the founder of the company I've worked with for 30 years said people will definitely react to a little way to go. Not that they're doing it for that reason, but, you know, appreciation goes a long way. And how many of us get applause when we show up to work every day, or, you know, you make dinner or you do your kids' laundry, you know, and do they come in and go, yay, Mom, you did my laundry? No. So that little bit of appreciation goes a long, long way with people, just saying, oh my gosh, I appreciate you so much, really do. So the next thing I want to do is, well, Elisa, do you want to kind of put your offer out there?
Sure. So if anyone needs assistance with their social media or just has some basic questions about reposting or wants help just to make sure that when you share, like, it's going to both accounts, if that's what you would like to do. I'm going to be emailing the document that Jeff went over today after this meeting so that you have reference for those best practices. And then at the bottom, my email is included. So email me, reach out to me. I will happily help anyone with any questions they may have. We're here to support and assist.
Okay, you're so awesome. Okay, the last thing I wanted to do before we close, and I'm watching our time here very closely, I want to be respectful of your time, is as you are talking to companies, to churches, to any large groups, I know Sue's talking to some women groups, if you could possibly just email it to me, like, hey, I'm talking to this group on this date. I'm not going to step in or anything, but what we want to do is we want to kind of start a base with Alicia, letting people know these are the companies that have been hit. Because the last thing we want is for 2 or 3 people to contact the same company and then they think, oh my gosh, it's overload. Remember I said at the beginning, people want to look at something, click on it and move on. So that's kind of what we want to do. And then also when you give us an idea of a company or a group or a church or even a political group that's very cohesive and would get behind this, we want to think, okay, who else do we know? Because it just, ideas begat ideas. And so if you guys, like tonight, Sue, you mentioned a ladies group and I was trying to write it down and I didn't get there in time, but one of the ladies groups that you're talking to, what was it?
Am I unmuted?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. No, it's part of a national conference, so that's not it. And both of the groups that I was talking to were part of a national, but I get what you're saying. The one that I would say that is local is the Arizona Life Coalition. And there's many members of that, almost everybody that touches anything having to do with pregnancy crisis centers or pro-life is part of Arizona Life Coalition. Choices with Josh is part of that. So, but I'm with, my best friend is the executive director or on the board of a Arizona Life Coalition. So she is the one that's putting me in front of different things like these national, where at her table, I can talk to somebody or give.
So not to get too sidetracked, but I do just want to mention when it comes to the issue of life, first of all, we do have the Dream Center is in the process right now. We're starting a new crisis pregnancy center in North Phoenix. We're partnering with Choices, but also approximately a third of our, and Joanna and Shauna can correct me if I'm wrong, but the last I heard, it was about a third of the people who come to our adult program are pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so we provide all that care for them in a situation where they would otherwise be encouraged to terminate that pregnancy. So I don't know if that gives you another talking point with those groups, but that's a big part of that care, the prenatal care, all of that is a big part of our treatment.
And Jeff, yes, I'm involved with, I've been invited to the Choices dinner in October. I've been involved with the pregnancy build a room for one of them up in Show Low. So pretty much Debbie Van Boon is in contact, is part of a small group that I go to. So I appreciate what you're saying. And if there's anything that I think is duplicating, I'll make certain that somebody knows it.
So the statistic is actually approximately 30% of the women who come to the Dream Center are either pregnant or they have children. That's
Say that again, Joanna, you cut out.
Approximately 30% of the women who come to the Dream Center are either pregnant or they have children.
Okay, that's a great statistic.
Yeah, so yeah, because if 1 out of 3 was pregnant, we'd be like, but we're building a facility that will house that. The other thing I was going to say is,
did you say though that 30% that come are pregnant
or have children already?
Or have children. Okay, got it.
May have been taken away from them or they're trying to get them back. So here's something else too, guys, like when you're going to these other meetings, I know Jason, you do a lot of influence in the political arena. When y'all are going to these meetings or you're going to these dinners, let Alicia know, let me know. We'll get you some flyers. We'll get you, now I've lost it. We'll get you a bunch of these. We do have one of those huge stand-up banner things. If we can have a table where we can man a table, I love doing that. That is so much fun. I love handing stuff out to people. Anywhere where people are gathered for any type of event where we can just get this in their faces. And if they will give us 45 seconds to 60 seconds on a platform, you would not believe how fast I can talk about the walk. I think last year, Dream City Church gave me 90 seconds and I only took up 62. So, I mean, you know, we don't come in and take over, but if there's something about having someone on stage saying, we need your help here. Also, think about teenagers, you know. Teenagers can get behind a cause and do great things. We had a young lady who at the time she was 14, when she finished her campaign, she was 15. Her goal was only to raise $2,500 to put towards a dream suite at the Phoenix Dream Center. Over the course of the year, she raised over $100,000 just by talking to people and getting the word out. They ended up having a dinner. Her church got behind her. Kids can create incredible momentum. People will say yes to a kid before, you know, when they'll say no to an adult. So we want to get the kids out there and get them behind it as well. And one of the things that we talked about is doing, you know, in the schools and with even youth groups, like even if we were talking with a sports team or something like that, is, you know, saying, hey, if all the different classes or all the different groups, you know, have a competition, whoever raises the most will throw you a pizza party. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket to get them fired up. So this is what I'm talking about. Think outside the box. And as you think of companies or groups, my daughter, because she's in education, so she has to have a second job. She's a coach for Jabs. And she has got both of the Jabs gyms that her owner, Jabs are nationwide, but it's a franchise. So she's gotten her owner, both of her gyms, to form a team, knock out human trafficking, because it's a female, you know, boxing gym. So just start thinking anything outside the box. And as you talk to people, send me a quick text or a quick email and say, hey, I talked to Mountainside Fitness today, and I'm working with them, and, you know, can we drop off some flyers, or can I get some flyers from you or Alicia or Jeff, you know, in the next couple of days to drop off? Can we do posters? Can we do, and we'll do it. We will make it happen. Okay. But we need you guys to be the eyes and the ears and the voices. We need you to be the mouthpieces, to be out there saying, can we at least put up a sign? Can we put stuff up on the wall? And that's where, like, let's say Erica goes to Mountainside Fitness and they say, yeah, we'll form a team. We'll do a QR code just for Mountainside Fitness. And we'll say Mountainside Fitness members QR code, use your camera. And they take this, they put the photo, the camera on it, and it takes them right to that site to sign up to be on that team. But we've got to come together as a group here and everybody really start collaborating on this, because people are coming back to town after Labor Day, and we have a window here. Now, the other thing, when Jeff was talking about, we'll go in and talk to companies, we'll do launch meetings, I mean, whatever. We will also do living room meetings. And I do this with the Phoenix Dream Center. And I know Sue's got like 3 lined up for this fall, but anytime I do the living room meetings, you know, we talk about Dream Center, we talk about Streetlight, but we always talk a lot about Stop Traffic Walk, because people get excited. Because when you tell them about how horrible trafficking is, and I'll tell them a couple of the stories of some of the girls and the success stories, and we also we'll tell them a heartbreak story, you know, a girl coming in that has a gunshot wound to the head and they put a plate in her skull and she succumbs to internal injuries, and she dies in the hospital with us holding her hand and she has no one. You know, I mean, these are real stories, guys, and they're really happening. And they're happening right now. And I always like to stress in these living room meetings that every one of us and our children and our spouses and our next door neighbors' kids and the kid down the street, at one point, they're one choice away from walking in these girls and guys' shoes. No one is above this. They really aren't. Some of our girls and some of our guys at the Dream Center came from Christian homes and went to private schools and were in college when they were trafficked. So we really want to stress to people the passion behind this. And it is a hard topic. It's a dark topic, but I really want to assure you that when I come and talk to these groups and do these living room meetings, I do bring some humor to it. And don't really know where it comes from, but I just give credit to the Holy Spirit. And, you know, and so you get them to kind of, you know, laugh and kind of, you know, relax a little bit and then hit them with it, because we've got to get this under control. We've got to, they say there's no way it'll ever stop. It's the world's oldest profession, but you know, right now there's so much momentum. And if y'all are talking, especially Jason, if y'all are talking to politicians and they're shaking hands and stuff, I want you to look them in the right eye, look them in their right eye and say, tell me what you're doing to stop human trafficking. Are you aware of the Phoenix Dream Center? Are you aware of Streetlight USA? Are you aware of Colorado City? What are you going to do to stop human trafficking? And if they say, well, I don't know much about it, isn't that where they bring people from over the border? Go next. Okay, because they need to be enlightened, or you need to go to the next person. They need to know that there is power in Stop Traffic Walk. There's power in our church, and there's power in the Phoenix Dream Center and Streetlight. We have a lot of votes riding on this, and we can influence people. And if it takes them getting a little scared, like they're going to lose a bunch of votes, so be it. I have no qualms about it. I have ethics, but sometimes I'll kind of lower them a little just to get the kill. So, you know, I'm not paid. I'm a volunteer. They can't fire me. All right. So as y'all are thinking and brainstorming about companies and groups and all that, just keep me on speed dial. Just keep me on speed dial. I'll keep a list going in my phone. I'll have Alicia do a once a week email. Is everybody okay with just like a weekly email of where everybody is, what's going on? Okay, I think just get one email, and that will come from Alicia. She's been such a godsend. Jeff, you did good. I'm proud of you. So do y'all have any questions, concerns, anything at all? This is your time.
No, Alicia, I'm the one that just sent you a thing. End of the month, I'm hosting an event for Abe. He's running for Attorney General, and he specifically called today. He wants to do a roundtable for human trafficking. Obviously, he wants to find donors and stuff, but this is a specific event for human trafficking. And we brought him down there with Joanne to the Dream Center. So he'll be a good guy for it. And as Attorney General, he'll be super strong on this. Yeah. So I'll get with you tomorrow, and then we'll make sure the roundtable's got a lot of people on it, and it'll be a great way to promote this event. In fact, we'll make it almost like the corporate sponsor for this event. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, yay. So these are the kind of ideas that we can run with, okay? And you know, if you're sitting there going, I don't even know where to start, just start by starting a team and start putting the word out to everybody you know, and you will be amazed at how many people will say, I know somebody over here, or have you talked to this group, or have you thought about this? And you will, let me tell you what, God's hand is in this every step of the way. And he will plant the seeds in other people's hearts, and we will reap the benefits of it, because this goes against everything that our Bible teaches us how people are supposed to be treated. Flesh is not designed by God to be sold. Not this way, not ever. So anyway, I'm just a little passionate, but it's my gig. I love it.
Joanna,
all right. Anything else?
Yes. Can you hear Jim?
No, he's muted.
You're muted, Jim. Jim, you're muted. Wait a minute, Joanna. He's in the other room.
Okay.
Either that or come here. I'll ask a question while he's unmuting. Okay. Did you say that, I wasn't aware, like I said, children were probably free, but are you saying people can register and not pay the $99?
Yeah.
Because I've been saying $99 for most people, but for children, if you have a lot of children you're bringing, don't worry.
Jeff,
But
you want to explain that?
Yeah, so it's free to get in. You can get in for free, but you do have to register to get in. So, but if you want the full registration with all the stuff, the t-shirt, that's the $99 moment.
okay, but they
If you
have
just
to,
want to come to the walk, you can come in, you can go to the food trucks, you can do any of that stuff, but you can get in for free.
but they have to register even if they,
Right.
even if
And they
they want
can
to
do that at the door, but it's just, they're going to get in a lot faster if they do it ahead of time.
Yeah, well, obviously I want them to donate, and I will say, you know, if you can, we'd appreciate a donation, whether it's there or whatever. Okay, Jim's here.
Yeah, Joanna or Jeff, question, you were talking earlier about not wanting to hit the same company, you know, 3 or 4 times. Is there a quick list that you have of people that have already been hit or that are already on the sponsor list? So we're
Yeah.
not.
So Jim, that's what we'll put in the weekly email to you. We'll let you know what companies are already committed or they've already stepped up. I feel like I'm looking at a dark screen. But yeah, we're going to put that in the weekly email. That's why it's important for you guys just to send me a quick text. Hey, I talked to this, I talked to this, I talked to this. Just so that we're kind of, and I'll forward that to Alicia and she can put it in the weekly email.
Okay, that'd be great.
Alicia, do you have Jim's email so that I can stop forwarding him things?
Yes, I think so.
I should. I have both of yours. I'll email after this, or if you want to.
It's on your list. Alicia.
Okay, yeah, if that's on the, if that's correct, then I'm all set.
Okay, good, thank you.
And Brittany said she's sorry she couldn't be on. Her husband is working and she has 4 boys.
Oh, that's
So
right.
She said it's bath time. But if you want ideas for some of the things she's doing, she is always open to talk to anybody and give them ideas and tell you how she did it. She did a neighborhood thing last year where she got a bouncy house donated and all kinds of stuff donated and did a neighborhood thing. So, you know, she's really good at thinking outside the box on that as well.
Hey, Joanne, I have a quick question.
Sure,
Do you
Connie.
guys have contacts with Turning Point and then with the AmeriFest that's coming up in December?
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Because that's huge, you guys. We need to be tapping into that.
And
We don't.
It's
They-
the last weekend before
I'll reach out.
Christmas.
I'll
Yeah,
reach out. I've got contacts.
okay. And see, that's where if you contact somebody there and it looks like it's a good lead, shoot me a quick text and say, I'm talking to Turning Point. Yeah.
Okay.
And you would think, because they're at our church once a month and we're partnering with them for a school, but you'd be surprised. I mean, we can't do it all. So that's why we
No,
need,
that's why I'm simply asking the question.
yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
So is that something, if we could we have a booth at AmeriFest if that's something that I can work
Yeah.
out?
Yes. And we have a giant banner. I could actually put it up in the Scottsdale Dream City Church campus for a couple of weeks so y'all can see it with some tables, but it's a beautiful banner. It's one of those stand-up banners.
Mhm.
And Alicia can print off all these different, you know, all these stop traffic walk little things.
Okay.
People love these.
Okay.
I love them. I like your thinking. Okay, we're losing people. I think it's gotten late. So Jeff, thank you so much for giving us this time and just your input. You're always so valuable. Alicia, just I thank God for you. You're just so amazing. And we're definitely going to have to shower you with gifts. So y'all just let me know. Everybody will let me know what I can do to support you and to walk alongside you. I can talk to anybody. I'll talk to groups and I'll be nice, maybe. But yeah, but I've been at the Dream Center now for over 7 years and I've seen it and I've seen it not as a participant. So it's an interesting perspective. So, all right. Okay, everybody, thank you for being on.